hilarious part is, of course, I am in the opposite end of the spectrum of like people that will get the vaccine.
I'm 37.
I am not a caretaker. I'm not a caregiver. You know, I'm not a frontline employee. Despite the fact that podcasting, if you ask Los Angelinos, is still considered an essential business. Don BT, thank you for the subs, by the way. Now I ordered burritos for you as well. Yeah, I'm feeling bad, so I was gonna eat my feelings away. I don't know. I just feel tired.
Daddy, 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 daddy,
I pay you to subscribe. We pay for your merch. Where can I pay you to play Sly Cooper? That's not gonna happen. How are you not caretaker? Aren't you a daycare manager? Get vaccinated on. I'm a daycare owner, but I get to do my job over the internet. So it's like I'm young, I'm healthy, I'm not at risk at all. So I'm gonna be probably the last of the line to get this fucking thing, aside from children. So it doesn't matter that I'm living with my mom.
Say it back.
We live in such strange times. The largest concern is how long it will last. If it only lasts about 3 months and takes a few months to get supplies distributed, then we may constantly going back to tier 1 people, taking forever to get to the lower percentage. Yeah.
Thank you so much for helping me be myself and accept my Arab identity.
They used to say, once you get it, you're permanently immune, and then I got it, and then now they're saying it takes 3 months, and then you're back to square one. You know, classic Trumpian response, but like they never said that once you get fucking immunity, you get full immunity. I love you too, man. I love you, JM Valdez, and you guys in the chat.
Wall.
You and Chad at Reno are awesome. Have built an inclusive and awesome community. Thank you, C. Malley, for the 6 months. There you go. I'm wondering if it'll be seasonal and mutate. I got a project for my sociology class. My topic about the implications and the negative effects of women which will face safe and legal abortions were removed. I was wondering if you help me out somehow. Just look up, dude, there is like a fucking gorillion studies on the matter, man. It's literally the easiest thing you can find. There's so much evidence that restricting access to abortions only makes them harder to get, but it doesn't stop women from getting abortions. It just pushes them. It just pushes them towards back alley abortions, which are unsafe, which lead to approximately 6 million women annually getting complications from back alley abortions that make them go sterile, or even in some circumstances kill them. So it's pretty common. It's banning abortions don't actually create less abortions overall. Banning abortions just forces women to go and take matters into their own hands. It's so dumb.
1 year.
Have you gotten your Cyberpunk yet? No, my account manager just asked to, and no, I haven't gotten it. I don't know what it is. Wait. Wait, hold on. Wait, 1 second, 1 second. Okay. Anyway, no, I have not gotten the Cyberpunk code yet. You need to watch our health minister crying because of the vaccine and how proud he is of it. So cringe. Why? I don't think it's cringe, man. I think it's a fucking beautiful thing. Getting my vaccine so I can cut your hair, brother. Dude, your name is Headhunter, dude. It scares me. Okay. So much for the nobody from Congress rule. Also, so much for the most experienced cabinet ever. Fudge does not have the relevant experience for this job. Is not on any committees to deal with it. It's official. Biden has selected Representative Marcia Fudge to lead the Department of Housing and Urban Development. This quote is brutal. Fudge lamented just last month in an interview with Politico that black policymakers have traditionally been relegated to just a handful of cabinet positions, including HUD secretary. As this country becomes more and more diverse, what? Why did you say Toyota Camry? As this country becomes more and more diverse, we're going to have to stop looking at only certain agencies as that people like me fit in. She said, you know, it's always we want to put the black person in labor or HUD. What are you doing with NZXD? I'm not doing anything with NZXD. I DM'd them because they DM me and I DM them to say like I want to get a supercomputer. Because
Canada News when? Ajan? Canada News when?
Because I am very excited. Can't wait to get the vaccine so I can kiss the homies again. Same, dude. Cyberpunk releases tomorrow at 4 p.m. on the West Coast. I know, dude. I know. I thought I was supposed to get an early access one, but here, let's take a look at the comparison between PC and PS4. Are we allowed to look at this now? Like, are we allowed to look at this, or I won't get clapped for this, right? The embargo is lifted? I don't think so. Or is it? Put up a seizure warning? I don't think they're going to show that part, but yeah. I have to mention this. So, across the board, no, don't, bro. Okay, I won't do it. I don't know what the deal is. They did lift it. This is not new footage. Okay, I'm not even gonna touch it. So across the board, if you want, I have to mention this. Across the board, all Cyberpunk is a seizure warning. I will be issuing that.
Cyberpunk and the stream early and enjoy yourself and play
if you are prone to getting seizures,
you stream for us all the time.
If you're prone to getting seizures, like I would be very careful watching Cyberpunk. I'll try to mention it. I'll try to mention like when there are. I'll try to like remember when like the seizure inducing segments are, but like apparently the BD, like the brain dance or whatever it's called, like that part is nearly identical to like the actual fucking seizure inducing things that they do. That when they're trying to figure out like when they're testing people that have that get seizures, they will beam out like lights for people who have the epilepsy. They'll beam out lights on purpose, and that is apparently the exact same kinds of lights that you experience when you're literally fucking going into the BD sequence.
Dude, still
in the game.
9/10.
Nah, Sam, we like the danger. Dude, still gave it a 9 out of 10. It's an EEG test. Yeah. Crying isn't cringe. Pretending to is. Oh, okay. Wait, hold on. Let's watch this.
I'm going to tell you who drives this car, okay?
Who?
Hassan drives this car. This is literally Hassan's car.
Why is he? What? This is a very reliable automotive, dude. What the fuck? This is a reliable automobile, man.
Right
the fuck
now.
Is this?
Okay, but except it's just a year newer. It looks the exact same. That is exactly Hassan's car. That is what he drives.
What is he saying?
You drive an Altima.
Yeah.
You
NPC.
And I think it's a 09 Camry. I have a 10. I have a 2010, which is much better. Much better.
NPC.
Dude, you are an NPC. If you drive this car,
this is literally okay. Tell me what a person is like if they drive this car.
You are a Sims character in this reality of the world. You are literally an NPC. You probably have both hands on the wheel at all times, drive perfectly. Like you are an NPC.
I'm gonna tell you who drives this car. Okay.
I am so upset. Words cannot describe how frustrated I am with this take. This is, I would say, Miskiff just lost the radical Middle Easterners, okay? Miskiff just lost the radical Middle Eastern dads. Do you understand? This car is a staple in every MENA household, okay? Every Middle Eastern and North African dad, whether they live in America or whether they don't live in America, whether they live in Turkey or not, has this car. And they keep it. It's from 1994, and they've kept it pristine, and they still drive it. Okay? And it's always some weird beige color. It's either this color or that. Oh, there it is. It's like this color or silver. Okay?
Hella entertaining progressives who game deserve all the support, brother M/.
React content from Lifetime, Mario Lopez in a mini. Yeah, we already saw that. We already watched it. Sorry. Miskiff's audience is 99.5% white teenage males. I'm epileptic. Do you think they will have a mode where I can watch soon? I don't know, maybe, but it's. I mean, I'll try to grab the times before like the epilepsy stuff, epilepsy inducing or seizure inducing light stuff happens. I think I read an article about it last night, which was kind of brutal, but I'm sure they'll be more accommodating. Can confirm our Armenian family has that car in the older models of the beige. Yes, exactly. But we'll try to do like a warning. They said they're working on a permanent fix for it. Oh, okay, yeah. It would have been crazy if they were like, listen. It would have been crazy if they were like, oh no, fuck people with epilepsy. Like, no, we did this on purpose. We want to kill you. Like, they're not going to do that. People were trying to say like, oh no, they did this on purpose. And, you know, they're trying to, like, people were like criticizing them on the internet last night when the article first dropped about how like, I can't believe they're doing this on purpose. It's like, why would they do that? Like, no, they didn't do that on purpose. They would never do something like that on purpose. Like, no video game is like, let's kill our fucking consumers, okay? No, they probably didn't even think about it, or they didn't even recognize it, and now they're gonna fix it. Did you run the ad yet? No, I didn't. Top of the hour, every hour, there's a 60-second ad break. After that, let's get some updates on where we're at with this launch here. 1600. Okay, not bad. I need to know like what other Twitch streamers that have actually done like good launches and how successful those launches have been, so I can compare myself to like a point and then feel bad about how terrible I rolled this out. I'm assuming they fucking sell like 20K in the first hour or some shit. Watch the clip. Mrs. watching your stream. They are waiting for you. What do you mean? Oh, here, I'll watch this.
Honestly, if Hassan were to
what Ludwig sold out like 10 million hoodies, or wait, how many? What, 1 million hoodies? Ludwig sold out 1 million hoodies. There's no way he sold out 1 million hoodies. That's insane. That's it's fucking nuts.
put that on, it would be like considered fashionable.
Oh, 100%.
You'd be like wearing a plastic bag on like the cover of like a magazine or something. And all the women would be like, oh my God, you're so hot. Oh God, this is going to get clipped and sent to him. Hi.
Fuck you.
Honestly, if Hassan were to put that on, it would be
here.
like considered fashionable.
Oh, 100%.
You'd be like wearing a plastic bag on like the cover of like a magazine or something. And all the women would be like, oh my God, you're so hot.
Dude, I bought a bag of weed. No, it's not tendies. I got something different today. No, for the first time in a long time, I got something different today. I ordered a burrito, but I bought a Corsair or Crosshair or whatever the fuck this thing is called. I bought one of these mouse pads because mine was so scuffed at this point. I needed a new one. Okay.
Oh God, this is gonna get clipped and sent to him. Hi, Hassan. Say hi.
Hi, Austin.
Hey,
Hi,
no, don't call him a douchebag.
No, I was calling you a douchebag.
From a Mexican place?
Honestly,
no,
if Hassan were to put,
it's not from a Mexican place. What up, Miskiff? If you're watching, hey, if the Miskids are watching, go grab my fucking merchandise. Okay? If all the eggs, if you guys want to be cool, okay? If you want to know what drip looks like, go to represent.com/Hassan. Limited edition merchandise available for the first time, and it's also union made. And it's also, oh, he's not watching. They left already? Fuck, well, too late. Whatever. Who cares? Let's go. Let's watch this Bill Burr shit. I'm excited about this.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Because as a comedian, you have to be on social media.
Oh, also, I gotta fucking run an ad.
I don't know way not
Shit.
to be. And it's just, like, impossible. Like, I am so fucking ridiculously addicted to my phone. Like, the amount of times that I set it down, going like, enough with that shit. And then I'll just sit there, and then 5 seconds later, I'm just picking it up. And, like, you know what it is? It's also, like, I watch, even when I'm watching TV, I'll be like, oh, look at this old movie. I wonder if that guy's still alive.
Right, and then you start
And I start
Googling.
looking, oh, he died. What did he die of? Oh, that's, 82. It's not bad, just.
Let's see if someone's talking shit about me.
Yeah, well, I don't do that. I go,
I got burritos and tacos from Tacos Tu Madre. It's the most whitewashed tacos and burritos on the planet, and I fucking love it. I got fried chicken burrito and a fried avocado taco. It's so fucking insanely fucking whitewashed, but it's so good.
let's see what these, I don't know.
Social media is bad. I mean, it's good and it's bad, right? But the bad part is you can get lost in other people's opinions and want to defend yourself. And then, people misrepresent what you said or distort what you said or take it out of context. Yeah. And then you're like, hey! And then you think, well, how many people are reading that and thinking the wrong thing about me? And,
no,
it's just,
I never respond to it.
I don't either.
I just flip out.
I do what I call post and ghost. When I make a post, and then I put my phone away and I walk out of the room. I leave my phone in other rooms.
I thought you were going to say you write what you want to say and then you delete it. And I'd be too nervous you accidentally hit send.
I make a post and then I go away.
Right.
Like I don't look at what people are saying about the post. I just get the fuck out of there. It's just it never is a good use of time. There's so many things that I like to do, and that's one thing that saves me is that I have so many obsessions.
Right.
Is that there's so many things I like to do but the phone will get me if I'm not you know what will get me? Fucking YouTube and watching nothing. It'll be an hour.
Yeah.
I'll watch a video on how they make watches, and then I'll watch 3 or 4 pool matches, and then I'll watch 1970 Chevelle. Oh, how'd they make that? And then
You know what I hate though about all of those is once you click on one thing, then they just give you 40 of the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like it's almost like they don't want you to progress. It's like I have like some of like when I watched, I think I told this story last time I was on here. Like on Netflix, I watched all of Narcos.
Yeah.
And then everything became like behind the scenes of San Quentin and blah, 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 blah. So I've been trying to watch these French movies, right? But for some reason, it won't, because I think I'm here. They keep giving me like the English speaking ones. It's like, that's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to watch their shit. Like, how do I get out of this? They keep dragging you back down to,
well, they find what you're interested. I mean, the algorithm's pretty simple. I mean, it's not simple; it's complicated, but it's a simple formula in terms of like how it applies. Whatever you're interested in, it's going to show you. Whatever you're going to spend the most time looking at, it's going to show you. Whether it's things you hate, like YouTube or Facebook, that accentuates things that give you it's.
Yeah, like for example, if you watch Joe Rogan, who routinely has people like fucking Steven Crowder and shit on, the algorithm will show you a fuckload of reactionary nonsense. Because Joe Rogan loves hosting reactionary garbo. I love Bill Burr. Fuck you, whoever. Chatter who said Bill Burr is cringe. No, you're cringe, bitch. Bill Burr is based and good. He might have some fucking boomer takes every now and then, but Bill Burr is exactly what you want from someone in that age group from fucking Boston, okay? Like, if you expect Bill Burr to be like anything different, like, I don't know what to fucking tell you. Your expectation of humans is way too fucking high. Like, he's an old white guy from Boston who is woke as fuck on a lot of issues, as woke as like a regular Joe could be, okay? And even though he's rich as fuck now, he's still not a piece of shit about it. So, I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck whether you find him cringe or not. I love him.
It turns out it's really just what you're responding to and spending time on. Like Ari did an experiment. Ari's experiment was he only looked up puppies on YouTube. That's it, just puppies. And then all YouTube was showing him was puppies.
Right.
And he was trying to tell people, look, this isn't insidious. It's not like the man's trying to keep you angry.
Right.
It's like you're keeping yourself angry. If you just go and look at puppies all day, that's all it's going to show you.
I don't know. I feel like
Miss shouted out the merch. If you guys want to be cool, okay? If you want to know what drip looks like,
It's my birthday.
go to
Phil's birthday
represent.com/Hasan. Limited edition merchandise available.
Chat, you heard it here first. If your mom, if your aunt, your grandma, whoever needs a new rag to wash your dishes, be sure to go over to represents.com/Hasan Piker and get them a very
Hasan
expensive rag today.
For the first time, and it's also union made. If you guys want to be cool, okay? If you want to know what drip looks like, go to represent.com. I'm surprised that I haven't gotten more of the oh, you call yourself a socialist and yet you make money off of merchandise. Like I'm surprised I haven't gotten that more. I don't know why. It's shocking. It really. Merchandise available.
Chat, you heard it here first.
Run the ad yet? No, I didn't.
Whatever he
Top of the
has.
hour, every hour. There's a
It's
60-second ad break. After that, let's get
Oh,
some
fuck.
updates.
Wait,
later.
he's not
you
gonna watch the
fucking
clip?
No, he knows I'm watching, so he's showing his merch.
What a scam.
Watch the clip. Let me type. Watch the clip.
I love you all in chat.
Are you a hate watcher? What are you doing?
No, I'm telling you, watch the clip.
Jesus. Come on, Hasan,
Did you
dude.
see him for a second? It was fantastic.
He's like close. All right, here we go.
Can sell like 20K in the first hour or some shit. Watch the clip. Why are you saying free promotion? I didn't even know he was watching me at the time. He was watching your stream. They are waiting for you. What do you mean? Oh, here, I'll watch.
Honestly, if Hasan were to
What Ludwig sold out like one.
Hasan,
10
focus!
million hoodies.
focus, you were watching the clip. And you
Ludwig
just
sold out 1 million hoodies. There's no
Are
way
you-
they sold
Champagne,
out 1
Illinois
million hoodies.
Socialist. Champagne, Illinois Socialist. Champagne, Illinois Socialist. Play Bugs Nax.
That's funny. Anyway, okay.
if I look at one puppy video, then they give me a bunch more.
Mm.
And it's just like, okay, maybe I've moved past puppies at this point.
Yeah, but that's up to you. You yourself. You have to search for things that aren't puppy related.
I know. But it's just easier just to click on what they're giving me.
Of
Or they're
course
just,
it's
oh,
easy.
more puppy videos. This is my safe space.
Catch new episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience for free only.
Incredible. Paris and Istanbul teams walk off in solidarity after racist incident. Incredible scenes. Let's just hope Obama doesn't get to them. Okay, man.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
There's 2 deathbed stories that I heard. All right. One of them was, should I tell the sad one or the cool one first?
It's up to you.
Okay, I'll tell the cool one first.
Okay.
We'll end in a dark place. So I remember hearing Lou Reed. When Lou Reed was on his deathbed, he was just sitting there relaxed, smiling with this look of like wonderment, like enjoying this, your last experience.
Yeah.
I'm going to experience death. And he was open to it.
Did you see my
And,
Steve's far-right
had like
take
a
on
little
recent
smile on his
developments?
face. And it's just like,
Could you
okay,
please
that's
explain how he thinks this?
how I would like to go out. Not being like, oh, fuck. And then there was another one. I almost don't even want to say the fucking name. I'm not even going to. It was this famous guy, and he was a
You're
child
more generous
star,
than
and I don't
Chuck
think he ever
Feeney.
got past that, the ups and downs. I was here, and now I'm only here. But he's still, like, doing these huge shows, but he's not as big as he was. And his final words were so much wasted time. Wow. And if you look at his career, it wasn't. He worked his ass off, but then that's what scares the shit out of me. I'm like, so much wasted time, dude. You played fucking theaters for 40 years, selling out and made millions of dollars, and you came out the other side with that saying so much wasted time. So that's kind of making me look at like, it's there's this weird sort of thing with what we do, like, oh, it's exciting and stuff, but you kind of also sit back like, all right, well, I'm doing if I do that too much, and something else suffers, or did I take the time? Like, I have a pool. I'm never in it. So it's just this expensive puddle. Like, what am I doing with this fucking thing? And it's
Someone
like, what?
comes over.
This just fucking freaks me out. Streamers are being allowed to stream Cyberpunk since 7 a.m. Well, I didn't get the fucking link, man. Okay, I don't know if that's true or not, but I personally didn't get the fucking code, so I don't know what you want from me. Also, I don't believe you, because if that was the case, it would come up in the fucking cursory. Is that the right word for it?
2
Like
months
it would
free Hassan.
It would show up in the fucking directory. Yeah, you're gonna lose audience if chat takes.
Over to maintain your puddle.
Dude, and that was the dream. I remember
Yeah.
like living in fucking New York, no air conditioners. Like, someday I'm going to get a fucking house and I'm going to have a fucking pool, and on a goddamn day like this,
Yeah.
I'm going to fucking jump into that thing. And and on hot days like that, I'm not. I'm fucking sitting in my office, working. But there's something to be said about that, because that's what you're supposed to do as a dad and everything. But then, there's also that other thing. It's like, if you work too much, do you end up being that guy laying there?
You probably will.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Joe.
The thing about those guys, well, if you work too much, I'm saying, you think those guys that that's so much wasted time guys, they also, it's very difficult when you're in a competitive business like show business to pay attention to just yourself and just like enjoy your experience and be in the moment. Everybody is looking at themselves through the eyes of the success of other people. Like, I remember when I was on on news radio, the staff, everybody, the crew, the cast rather, everybody else besides me had a background in show business. All I had to do, I only had a background in stand-up.
Right.
I never taken acting classes other than a few private classes they made me take when they gave me a development deal. So I didn't understand the culture of acting. And I remember I was on the set, and they would read Variety, or they would read, whatever those show, Hollywood Reporter, and they would read about people getting deals, and they would read about how well Friends was doing and how well this is doing, and they get so fucking mad. And I would go, why are you reading that? Like, you're reading the devil's rag. I go, you guys are upset. I go, last time I checked, I'm on fucking TV.
I know.
I'm a 27-year-old kid, and I'm on TV.
Maybe because that was such a well-written, well-respected show that didn't get quite the shine that it should have. I felt because that was a really, really, really good show with like a ridiculous level, talented cast. And there's always those things. But that's something you have to learn in this business, that you just have to accept that, like, I always equate a lot of things to like music, that, you'll have like some pop star, some young, guy or girl's going to.
27 is fucking kid, dude. 27 for being on a TV show and being super successful is a child. Like, it is a kid. But you guys are all like 14, so that's why you think fucking 27-year-old is like old. I'm 29. Half the time I still feel like a fucking kid.
Going to come out, prime of their life, good
Like, I'm a boomer in every way, but my brain is doo-doo. Like, it has not developed.
singing some, bubblegum shit is always going to sell more
Yeah.
than this other thing, and you just have to. You got to be okay with that.
Yeah. Well,
Because
you got to
it's
be
like
okay
if you
with
want to
what your
sell
choice
that,
is.
you gotta go do that bubblegum shit. And if you don't want to do that, don't fucking sit there and look at it and be upset.
Comparison is a thief of joy. It's a famous quote, but it's an awesome one. It really is. It's you
I
can't.
lived that for a while.
Yeah, a lot of people do. Well, especially show business. Show business, that's a common thing amongst comics. It's you would see it, this gleam of jealousy. But I think also a part of there's good aspects of jealousy, and that you can feel bad that you're not getting something that other people are getting, and then it makes you work harder. But then once you've achieved like a level of success where it's measurable, like where you're like, hey, look, you're paying your bills, you're going and you're doing shows, and people are coming to see you, like you're doing great. Just concentrate on the work. Then concentrate on the work. Don't concentrate on being at your best. Don't concentrate on how well this guy is doing and how well that. I remember when Dane Cook was killing it. There were so many haters. And not just because of all the real reasons to be a hater, but also just because of his success was so astronomical. I remember people would just fume thinking about Dane Cook selling out arenas. It would drive them crazy. And I remember thinking, like, well, just concentrate on getting better. Catch new episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience for free only.
Damn, this episode is mid as fuck, huh? Do they have nothing good? Do they have nothing good here? This episode is like kind of
The
shitty.
Joe Rogan Experience.
The worst thing that can happen to a comic is you get real soft.
Dane Cook is riding high right now? No, he's not. I know. I see him all the fucking time. He is not riding high. I see him at the gym quite frequently. Well, haven't since COVID, but I think the last time I saw him was like when the gyms were still indoors.
Because
he is not
everybody
looking
loves
good.
you, and they go to see you and they laugh at anything you say. That's one of the reasons why Steve Martin said he stopped touring.
All right.
Because Steve Martin, when I was a kid, Let's Get Small was out, and he would come out with the bunny ears on and like play the
amazing.
banjo. Fuck, he
Amazing.
was so good. These kids today, these motherfucking kids today, they don't know that
Yeah, they
Steve
do.
Martin was a
Acid.
monster.
No, they don't know about that, but they know they're doing hell rooms. Nobody just shows up at the comedy.
That's not what I mean.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they don't know how good Steve Martin was. Like, people forgot when Steve
Yeah.
Martin was doing arena. We wasn't doing. I don't know if he was doing.
No, he
arenas.
did. He did like
Did he-
Nassau Coliseum.
Oh, okay.
He got that big.
What he was doing, his albums, like they were so silly and so fun and so different. Like, he had his own unique style, And when he just felt like anything he did, they laughed at, and he lost track of whether or not it was good or not, and he just stopped doing it. And I remember thinking when I was first starting doing comedy, I can't imagine that could ever happen.
This is the
or
boomer
B,
hour.
that you can't. There's not a workaround, Steve. You're the fucking man.
I think it really was. He also had all these ideas for film and all the stuff that he did.
Yeah.
But it's kind of interesting, like what he used to say about like it was such a serious time that he was coming out of, all like the previous decade, all the assassinations, the Vietnam War, the gas crisis, and all that, and all these comics were talking about all this heavy shit, and he was just super silly. They just it was like a mental break. Somebody came to us with a pilot idea for something, and it was over the top, like absurd and silly, and like that was my reference. I'm going, dude, this is like the Steve Martin bunny ear thing. Everybody's like going with Trump and the virus and it's like this thing is just silly. There's no Me Too, cancel culture. There's nothing in here. You can just sit down like that Dumb and Dumber type of thing. That type
there
of
he
stuff
is.
that I love.
Look
yeah.
at him. Dude, I'm telling you, people today, it's hard to appreciate how big he was. And I was a kid, right? So that when Steve Martin was huge, I mean, what year was this?
The one
Late
thing is
70s.
84, but yeah, all this is probably before that too.
Yeah.
Was he still doing comedy in '84? I thought he.
I found a video that said it was a stand-up performance from '84. So.
Oh,
That's
wow, I thought-
probably right around the
I've never heard a trans take from Bill Burr, so I don't know what you're talking about. But I wouldn't be surprised if he is somewhat transphobic. But what do you think you're getting across when you just keep saying Bill Burr punches down at trans people over and over again in the chat? Like, what do you like? I don't understand it. Like, what is this for justice? Like, is that, are you, like, what did you get across? Okay, he's transphobic. Like 700 years old. Even if he is, which, by the way, I don't know if he is. What was it? I think that this was his goal of spamming it. Okay, well, you got it. Thank you for your activism. You are not playing this well, Hassan, LMAO. Look. The reason why I get so fucking tilted by this shit is because I think that we are unironically going back to Obama era levels of culture, like cultural analysis. One of the worst aspects of the Obama era cultural criticism was the awareness that we all had about how, despite the fact that we had a liberal administration, we had no power to change it. We had no power for systemic change. So we just hyper focused on being like, oh, well, this person has said something that I have pinned down as transphobic, and therefore, like, you can't watch him. Like, you should not watch him. Why are you platforming this person? And what is deeply unsettling for someone like myself is that, like, it's not even like Obama. Joe Biden is the president. So you know these people don't give a single fuck about social progress. So I don't understand what you're trying to clean up. That's my take. Like, I don't know. I don't know what you're trying to clean up in this situation. Like, are you trying to clean up the culture? Like, do you think that you're gonna actually, I don't know, push anyone to not be? That's not Obama takes, bro. That's literally post 2016. No. See, this is the one issue that I disagree with Felix Biederman, a chop a trap ass on. He believes that we're done with the fucking constant, endless spam of being like, this person is bad. Fuck this. Cancel this person for saying something from like fucking 20 years ago. It doesn't matter. So, you're okay with supporting transphobic people, or I think you fail to recognize, I guess, how transphobic every fucking normal person is. That doesn't make it okay, and we should try to make sure that people are not transphobic. But yeah, of course I'm okay with supporting transphobic people. Your dad is transphobic. Your mom is transphobic. Literally, fucking go to the Chipotle. The guy who serves you a burrito is transphobic. Like, well, what do you mean? The owner of every single fucking Fortune 500 company is transphobic. It's like avoiding transphobia is like trying to avoid capitalism. The best you can do is try to push for systemic change while simultaneously talking to people individually if you see them being transphobic, and change their minds. Try to get them to stop. Like, are they making money off of transphobia? Are they literally fucking personally doing transphobia on purpose? Is it coming from a nefarious place? Is it coming from a place of not understanding it, considering the fact that we are so closely tied to our understanding of gender identity and gender expressions, and how rigid it's been for the longest fucking time, and how difficult that kind of change is for so many people. Not that doesn't excuse transphobia, by the way. I know it sounds like I'm excusing transphobia, but you have to, I guess, adjust your expectations correctly. And I say this as someone who fucking criticizes transphobes and shits on transphobia quite regularly, and want to make sure that, I mean, we don't allow any sort of transphobia in this chat at all. Wait, what? Internalized transphobia is different than active transphobia? What the fuck do you mean? Are you saying Bill Burr is trans and that's why he's transphobic? We don't even know where the transphobia came from. It's just something that a person said. See? I sexually identify as an attack helicopter. The only person I allow to say these fucking idiotic things is our resident chat pet, Chunk Yogurt. Because we all know him to be the person who is usually the dumbest person in the chat. So we just keep him in here so we can pet him when he says idiotic things like that, as though he's still in one of these dead forums. He thinks it's still fucking the height of 4chan. So you do believe that deplatforming works? You seem happy that Alex Jones' audience is smaller. Yes, of course deplatforming works. Of course it works. Of course deplatforming works. Are you crazy?
Amused.
The time when he stopped, but I thought he stopped before that. But when I was in high school was when Steve Martin was Born Standing Up. He's got a great book, too.
That's the book, Born Standing Up. You know what kills me is I loaned that to somebody.
There you go. Gave it up in 81.
I never got it back.
81. So he gave it up when I was a freshman in high school. The book is great. Red Band gave me the book for Christmas one year. It's really good. It's really interesting too because, like I said, I think when you talk about like great comics of all these generations, for whatever reason, people just think of him as a great movie star. They think The Jerk, which is an unbelievably funny movie, and all those amazing movies that he did. That was a great movie.
He doesn't like these cans.
We've got trans people in the community. Why not listen to their opinion on this? Do you want to know why? Are you ready for this? This is going to come across really fucking disrespectful. Get ready for it. Put the burrito down for this. Back when I had 1,000 people in this community, every single time when this community grew, even by a little bit, we would have a fuckload of transphobia whenever we talked about trans issues. And every single time this community grew, there were some growing pains. And people would constantly come to me and say, fuck you, Hassan. I thought you were a real leftist. I thought you were woke. Why are you allowing bigotry to exist in your community? And the bigotry was like microaggressions. Like these were things that people oftentimes would say without even recognizing that they're saying something inappropriate. These were people that we could potentially change the minds of.
Have my business money again.
And people constantly would tell me like, you are a piece of shit. Or rather, why don't you listen to the trans people in your community? What you're doing is making this a less safe space. I would go so far as to say that since those days, thank God I never listened to the people in my audience. But I would go so far as to say since those days, this community has quintupled, if not 10x'd, the number of trans people it has in it. Okay, that's one. And two, now whenever we have 20,000 people, even when we have 20,000 people, as we do every single day, and talk about trans issues, there is oftentimes very little transphobia in comparison to the insane transphobia you'd see when we were a community the size of 1,000 average viewers, and the chat would explode with transphobia. When we're a community the size of 5,000 average viewers, the chat would explode with transphobia, especially if it was a larger, especially when it was a larger audience. So excuse me when I don't fucking listen to your point of view, because I'm sorry, you don't know better than I do on how to build this thing, okay? I have a vision for change. I have a vision for community building. I have a vision for coalition building. And I am always honest. And I always tell you, listen, I expect you to do a little bit of emotional labor because it's going to happen. I'm privileged Andy. I try to use my privilege for good, but I'm still privileged Andy. You're going to have to do a little bit of emotional labor. I don't want to hear from people that like, oh, I'm doing emotional labor. Fuck that. I need to be compensated for my emotional labor. No, you have to educate people. It's just the reality. Just like I always believe that you're going to experience a little bit of bigotry, even in the areas that you have designated for or assume that is a safe space. There's going to be a little bit of unsafeness there. And I'm sorry, if you are looking for a safe space, which is a totally reasonable thing to ask, I do not have a problem with safe spaces. I think safe spaces are great. I think safe spaces are an awesome thing. If you are a trans person and you want to go to a place where there is never like any sort of fucking transphobia, that you could just like simply be yourself without fear that you might encounter someone who is transphobic, right? That's totally a fucking reasonable expectation to have from the planet. That's a reasonable expectation to have from a community. But both my Discord and certainly my stream to a much larger degree is not that place. While we do not allow transphobia or any matter of like misogyny, racism, homophobia, any of that stuff to go on, that still does not matter that you're still going to experience it no matter what happens. So if you look at this community and you think to yourself, wow, it's fucking crazy that like there is a community with 20,000 plus people, and I've never seen like in a gaming in a gaming environment, a gamer focused environment, I've never seen so many trans people and so many people that welcome trans people in one community. That's because I didn't fucking listen to you when I had 1,000 people watching me and you were fucking crying about transphobia and that I wasn't doing enough to deal with it. Okay? Sorry, but that's the insensitive thing, but that's the truth. Because if I had done that, then we wouldn't have fucking reached the amount of people that we get to reach now. Anyway. Trans woman here, new to this channel, definitely one of the most welcoming chats. Racism is something that affects my life 24/7, despite the fact that Hassan is very strict with these racist pieces of shit. Yeah. Speaking of trans issues in your channel, your community did help raise over $2,500 for that trans lifeline, and that makes me happy. Yeah, that was awesome. Good. We talked about that before, but. So we can't mention that a comedian somewhat. Okay. So this is one thing that I cannot shake from this very same community. Okay. And that is the goalpost changing debate lord mentality. It's one thing that I will never be able to shake on the internet. I think I try to deprogram people from being debate lords, but very difficult. It's not just that you're mentioning that a comedian is transphobic. You keep spamming it over and over again with because you want me to do something about it. You want me to take action on it. And then when you start doing that, there's other people that say, well, why are you supporting a transphobic person? Like there are people in the chat who are saying, wow, so you're fine with supporting a transphobic person. So the conversation moves on from like, I'm letting people know that Bill Burr is transphobic, which by the way, I still don't know. He might be. It wouldn't shock me, but he might be. Okay? But we have moved on from that. We've now moved on from that original point of like getting the word out to literally fucking straight up change the dynamic of the conversation. And now we are talking to, and now we're talking about like how we shouldn't support transphobic people, which is unfortunately, and I think a lot of trans people would agree to this, like a delusional worldview because of how fucking transphobic most people are. Also, there's a difference between like being outwardly transphobic and like capitalizing on your transphobia and like literally making money off of transphobia. Like Jordan Peterson is a fucking piece of shit. Okay? Do you think your approach could be called prioritizing pushback instead of just bans? Anyway.
There is a pretty clear distinction between supporting artists that maybe have personal issues with transphobia and those that take open political stances on it.
You know what you're saying? I'm Mexican and trans MB and I have to manage transphobia every day. Most working class don't understand this, and bad faith conservatives keep them this way. It's very sad, but I have to change their minds even one by one. So far, my brother and my mother are more open. I'm not out yet, but I'm getting there. I hope it gets easier. I think it's his bid on Caitlyn Jenner is transphobic. My take is it's more about him coming to terms with that person's transition. Honest question, because I only participate in your chat on Twitch. Is there a lot of transphobia on Twitch? Don't like don't do it. I'll just say don't venture too far, okay? I think people have gotten a lot better. Throughout time. Like a lot of gamers are changing, the attitudes are shifting. It takes time, and it's a lot of it takes time, and it of course is painful. Not painful for someone like myself. I'm fucking cishet, but very painful for the trans people still. But it is. I'm just here to tell you that it is getting better, and it will get better eventually. I promise. And that's what I mean when I say like there's going to be emotional labor that you might be subjected to. I would love for you to be able to put yourself in a position like that where you are willing and able to educate others. And also on top of that, I would love for you to be a little bit, if you don't want to, if you don't want to be understanding, and if you, that's totally fine, because they're not understanding of you. These people dehumanize you every day. So if you want to avoid that, then that's perfectly fine. But if you are going to be here, sometimes there are people who are going to say transphobic things.
Thank you for all you do,
Anyway.
Sam.
He was so good. He was so silly. What was the mafia movie he played? What was that one? When the guy with the big hair?
Yeah. And he goes into the supermarket and he gets the price gun and everything's like 99 cents. And he's kind of standing there, he's scanning all this filet mignons and everything.
What was that? My Blue Heaven. Yeah.
Rick
With
Moranis.
Mick Moranis. That was a great fucking that bit that you did on Saturday Night Live.
I was questioning the reasoning of trans people transphobic. What do you mean? Like, why trans people are trans? If that's what you mean, then it could be. Or if you're just like questioning Caitlyn Jenner, and why she decided to be a fucking psychotic Republican, you're questioning the reasoning of a trans person. That's an acceptable and non-transphobic take. Saying, why did Bruce Jenner turn into Caitlyn Jenner, lol, is a reasoning that you're questioning that is transphobic. You understand? Like, there's a difference between the two. One is treating a trans person as a normal human being, as they are. And
Hassle. Thanks
Sorry,
for
there
helping
was-
me get through 14 days of quarantine.
there was
in
just
New Zealand.
there was like a scuffle going on the street or something. I don't know what the fuck was going on. I had to take a look. Anyway, let's keep going.
Live about Rick Moranis getting punched in the face. I was fucking howling.
Do you know, I thought that if anything,
It's just hard as a trans person because we're basically asked to either just deal with the lack of safety in spaces or go somewhere else. No, I will always provide you a fucking base level of safety. Don't be ridiculous. No. Always. No, but I mean, like, you're gonna encounter a little bit of, if they disagree with Hassan's ideology, it's okay to criticize, but if they agree with your ideology and you criticize it, then you're transphobic. Wait, what? No, you can be like a progressive trans person and still be a fucking idiot. The whole point I'm saying is that it's not all right to criticize the person on the basis of them being trans, like, or question their identity or question them being trans, like, why are you trans? Is the same as saying, why are you gay? That is entirely different than fucking that's entirely different than saying like, well, you did something stupid and that person happens to be trans.
I thought because everybody loves Rick, which I do too, of course. I was just, was the
Just a
perfect.
joke. Catch new episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience.
Anyway, there is no evidence of a pandemic, says anti-vaxxer. Oh, here we go. Let's do
A
it.
vaccine may be with us, but it comes with a flare-up in the age-old struggle with anti-vaxxers, whose damaging narratives appear to be growing in strength.
No vaccine's ever been proven safe, and no vaccine has ever been proven effective.
We know that's not true.
Please allow me to...
What the fuck? Oh.
Millions of
What a
lives have been
great,
saved
what a
by
great
vaccines.
fucking,
They're some of the safest
what a good
medicines
start.
ever invented. That's just nonsense. Kate Shemarani's emerged as a spokesperson for the extreme movement, spreading falsehoods about vaccination. And despite nearly 1.5 million deaths worldwide, she even claims there's no health crisis.
There is no evidence that I can see that a pandemic exists. There is no evidence that SARS-CoV-2 has been purified and is unequivocally in existence.
It is easy to dismiss such views, as the Prime Minister has done.
Because there's all these anti-vaxxers now, isn't it?
Well, Marina can tell you a little bit about how we've...
But there is concern anti-vax propaganda, grounded in conspiracy theory and pseudoscience, is undermining confidence.
I think it's really important that we steer clear of this sort of skeptical gossip mongering social media. I think it's important that we really look at the expert opinion.
Can you imagine?
And it's clear the public does need reassurance. On the high street in Tunbridge Wells in Tier 3, they're excited about the...
Just imagine for a moment a media that does that level of pushback on someone who is being like overtly anti-vax, or rather the president, Donald Trump, saying, you have to take the vaccines. Like, you guys are being silly. Like, I can't imagine a world in which, like, the American media would be that aggressive, or the American president, like Donald Trump, would ever say anything beyond, like, well, if you don't want to, well, I want you to take the vaccine, but if you don't want to take it, you don't have to take it. Like, with the masks. And this is still Rupert Murdoch's fucking media company. So it's like, this is reactionary as fuck.
The vaccine
this is the conservative media company.
Rollouts, but there's also nervousness.
I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'm fully vaccinated, and so is my daughter. But it is something that I'm going to have to consider.
I probably have to trust them. I mean, I take all my medications with the trust of my doctors. They give me something, this works for you, and I'll probably try it.
Stop this needless death.
In the past, it was easier for the government to get its message across.
Immunization does not hurt.
Public health broadcasts, though, now have to compete with social media, where fake news about vaccines can go viral quickly.
There was a very damaging video about spreading misinformation about the vaccines and about the pandemic, featuring Bill Gates and others, discussing him. And that actually went viral very quickly.
Professor Melinda Mills at Oxford University says the government needs to do more if it's to win.
Dude, I'm sorry. Americans are so fucking brain dead. Immediately, as soon as we start watching the video, someone in the chat chimed in and was like, I don't think leftists should be comfortable with forced medication. You know, like, this is the age-old argument of like how all laws are still technically discriminatory. They are discriminatory towards someone. They're discriminatory towards someone who wants to break the law in its most simple terms. Right? And the way that you describe like forced vaccinations or something could be described as like, well, you're being discriminatory towards pedophiles when you create a law around age of consent. Technically, you are. You just worded it in a way where